And there we go. We are live. It's all good. Just saying. I think it's all good. Yeah. Just checking that the audio seems to be working. I think it is, which is really good. Yeah. Just checking that. Yep, it is working excellently. Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to 2023. I'm going to apologize a bit for the camera here. I'm just going to move stuff about here, but my normal camera is just giving me a bit of jib. So I've got this other camera I'm using. I think it's making me a bit out of focus. Just tell you what, I'm actually going to try and change it. I just think, let me see if I can just move some stuff about. This is all great stuff. I know it's all you've been looking forward to, but I think we got it there. Yeah, I think it's working. Fantastic. Is it? Not sure. Let's see. Pro webcam. Yeah, so it's got me on my it's on the pro webcam now. There we go. I think that's doing better. So oh god, this ain't good. Settings, camera. Oh dear, this is not good. Hold on. Oh, great start. Great start to 2023. Great start 2023. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're getting back. Hold on. It's working. Yay, hold on. And add to stream. Okay. Oh god, what the hell's going on here? Oh, there we go. We're back. Hey, we're back. We're back. We're good. Just struggling a little bit here, but we got there. Connection's good. This all seems good. Just need to try and refocus this a little. So I'm going to put my hand up here. There we go. Excellent. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Well, what a great start to 2023, eh? What a great start to 2023. I think started off with 5 people watching, gone already down to 2 because of the technical issues. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 2023. Welcome to the first Bond Geek live stream of 2023. It's already off to, let's be fair, a pretty awful start, but let's make it worth it. Just going to move my camera a bit again. Oh, God. I knew one day I would be doing a live stream and all of this would happen without a shadow down my mind. I knew it would happen, but it doesn't matter. Right. I guess I've seen just already a lot of you are already discussing like GoldenEye and the N64. Believe me, we will get to that, everyone. I've got a lot of things to say about it, but I think right off the bat, I think we should say right here, right now, I haven't got an Xbox. I'm a PlayStation man because I'm sorry, PlayStation is the best console. And I haven't got a Nintendo Switch. So I can't actually play the new GoldenEye N64. So tell you what, let me see if I can earn lots and lots of money and I have so much in bonuses that I can afford a Nintendo Switch. But let's start off with a couple of questions actually here to start off this live stream. And so everyone, if you are new to the Bond Geek live streams, this is generally what we do. We generally have a recap of what the episodes have been on the channel. Then obviously I'm going to discuss a thing about this couple of topics. Now today's topics are what to expect for this year regarding Bond 26 and also discussing GoldenEye's re-release. So we're going to discuss all of those things. And I love the questions firing in. But I haven't spoken to any of you this year so far, so I want to jump straight into questions right off the bat. So we'll start off here. So first question is from Jack, again from Into Opinion. Have you seen one plot hole in every Bond movie from Dutch Bond fan? Jack, I just saw it finished watching it 5 minutes before this live stream. I need to message you just to say well done, another amazing video. Really, really great work. I do think it's really great. And again, I think quite a few, let's face it, Die Another Day in just general is a plot hole. Should be called Plot Hole 007. Jerry, I'm thinking of doing a Bond trivia event in May. I'm thinking of asking you, being James Bond, if you want to do it on YouTube. Yeah, count me in, bud. Yeah, absolutely, count me in. If you want to sort that out, definitely. Let's chat about it. I'd love to do a trivia event. Be really cool. I will lose. I call myself a Bond fan, but I will lose, but I will do my utter best. No, I'm going to say that. I like to think I'd get high. Jackie Guinness, have you seen Fast 9? No, I haven't. and there is going to be a Fast 10, and they could bring Brian back with Paul Walker's brother singing for the film. You know what? I have heard of that. I did hear about that they're thinking of doing that. If they do that, as far as I'm concerned, that is... I get why they're doing it, but for me, I just can't shake the feeling that would be in really, really bad taste. And I think the reason it would be in really bad taste is because the actor is dead. Paul Walker, rest in peace, good sir. You gave him a great send-off in the series, and they've gone off in a new direction. And if they're trying to bring back the character, that to me shows they're quite desperate. And I think it's a bit unfair. Jack then writes, there is also going to be a Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 coming out this year in December. I've heard that. I've also heard they're shooting in London. So again, me and Sean really, really looking forward to that very much so. Jack again writes, have you seen the trailer for Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny? Yes, I have. Very much so. Let me explain to you how I did the Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny trailer. Started pressing play. Okay, look, Henry, respectfully, it's not going to be that great. He's 79 years old. No, you're not going to get excited about this. You're not going to get excited about this. You're not going to get excited about this. End the trailer. Sean, we're going to watch Indiana Jones opening night. Her response, yep, okay, cool. That sounds great. It did actually look really, really good. I'm really looking forward to Dial of Destiny. Certainly on my most anticipated list of the year. Jack again writes, have you played Ghostbusters video game? Yes, I have. I'm currently thinking about doing a replay of it, so might add that to the list. Okay. Jack writes, is there any other American director who almost directed a Bond film, being director Hal Needman? He directed Smoking the Bandit, Hooper, and The Cannibal Run. I have never heard... Well, I think it's very well documented that there are many actors who have nearly become James Bond. We don't really hear that many who nearly were Bond directors. It's only really since like Brosnan era, I think you hear about them a lot. But yeah, so you never know. Something could happen there. Jarvis, I wish they put GoldenEye N64 on the PS5. So do I, and I would play the crap out of it. 100% agree with you. I'm sure there's a rights issue. The fact that obviously Nintendo and now Rare being owned by Microsoft, they did something like that. So I'm sure it's something along those lines. Jarvis, I still own it on the N64 and I still love playing the retro games consoles. Do you know what? It's a weird thing. I've actually never, ever owned an N64. I had like 3 different friends who had N64s, and I just always went around to their house and played it. So it's weird. I've played so much of the N64 catalog, but never owned an N64. Jarvis, it's official. Harrison Ford will be in Captain America: New World Order. I thought that was ages ago. I thought that was announced. I thought that was ages ago. But yeah, I think it's really exciting that Harrison Ford's joining the MCU. As long as in one of the films that they do turn him into Red Hulk, I'll consider that. Just take my money. You are, without a shadow of doubt, already in the top 10. And Mark saying, hello, Henry. Hope you're well. I'm so glad that you can now play GoldenEye on the Switch. Well, I can't, and Xbox One, and I still can't. I'm currently playing through both versions and absolutely loving it all over again since N64. Not at all jealous, sir. Not at all jealous. In fact, I hope you're playing it while listening to this live stream. That would be great to hear. And then Mark Cameron writes, the controls on Switch are terrible. Didn't Calvin... Also, on that note, Calvin's released a review, hasn't he, about that as well. And I heard he had to change a lot of it, but he's got it to work. I've changed them so the game get the best experience. Yeah, again, same with that. I have heard that. Jack said it's obviously now working. That's great to hear. And Mark writes, I really hope that Nintendo Switch will release Age Under Fire, Nightfire, Everything or Nothing, GoldenEye Rogue Agent, and From Russia with Love. Well, I think it's very possible that if this release goes well, I think they'll next go to like Tomorrow Never Dies Well Enough and then gradually move forward. So I do think it's going to happen. I would be shocked if not in the next couple of years we do finally get digital versions of all these great Bond games, because people will buy them. And Jack again writes, I hope that the PlayStation does Age Under Fire, Nightfire, Everything or Nothing, and From Russia with Love on the PS5. I think they will. I think it will be a staggered release. Like, if I was in charge of the marketing, I would make sure all those are in the pipeline, and I would release them slowly in increments ready to the big release of Bond 25. That's what I would do. Right, so that's just a couple of the first opening questions we've got here. So let's discuss now about the first topic we normally discuss on here, which is we're talking about what did we do on the channel this month. So first off, let's just talk about the things that we did on this channel and a couple of other things that we've seen on other channels. So obviously the big first thing was I released this video about stuff I plan to do on the channel this year. Obviously the big plan is to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's something I really would love to see if possibly do. I want to do some audiobook narrations. I want to do some new different sorts of content, a bit more focus on my childhood era, the Brosnan era, that we know that's sort of coming. Again, this video, believe it or not, I thought this video would do quite well because on average, my videos do about 200 views. This one didn't do as well. I'm a bit shocked at that, actually. But, you know, it's a great video, and it really does explain a lot about what I'm about and what's going to happen in 2023. So I do recommend that. The next video I did was, again, following the big recent news and just sort of maybe slightly capitalizing on that. But I did have a lot to say about it, and I wanted to share my own thoughts and opinions. Was obviously why Aaron Taylor Johnson should be the next James Bond. Now, as I mentioned in that video, he's not in my top 10. He's probably not even in my top 20. But if he was announced as James Bond, I'd personally be very happy with it. Wouldn't be like my first or second or third choice, but I think he would be actually quite good. I'd be very interested in seeing him play James Bond. I think he could do something quite interesting. And, you know, if he gets announced, he gets announced. This video did really, really well. We got to like 500 views on it, which is a great one for me. And so, yeah, for me, that was a massive, massive hooray to that one. I was really excited doing that video. And there are going to be, as I say, more like why X actors should be James Bond coming up. There's also going to be like why X actors should be a James Bond villain. I've got one of those sort of cooking in my pipeline, which is really fun. But one of my absolute favorite videos that I have done, and something that really meant quite a bit personally to me, was obviously the 7 things I love. I finally launched this whole 7 things I love about, and I started off talking about the Pierce Brosnan era. That was just pure labor of love, really amazing. I absolutely loved it. So that was a really great video, and I got a lot of lovely comments. Hasn't done that well, if I'm honest. Maybe I need to change, you know, the title or how I'm approaching it. But you know what? Fair is fair. It didn't, you know, do as well as I hoped. But I still love that video. And it's something I'm really, really, really proud of. And I stand by a lot. So if you have missed one of these videos, definitely go check them out. Another thing just wanted to add into our live streams is talk about, obviously, other videos that have come out within the James Bond community. Obviously, we mentioned earlier in the stream, we've had the One Plot Hole in Every Movie by Jeroen, Dutch Bond fan. Great video, may I firmly recommend that. We've also obviously had many videos from Calvin come out. Obviously, we've had us talk about GoldenEye. We've talked about the Tom Cruise effect. Those are some really great videos out there. You know, David Saritzky's done his great ones on his Bond experience. He's also, do you know what? He did this, and I was watching it on yesterday. He did this video, which essentially is, you know, he and Joseph Darlington, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I apologize in advance. Talking about their own favorite Bond movies, which ones they are. So that was a really good one, I have to say, very much so. There really is great Bond content for us Bond fans out there. It really is. So I'm really glad to see that there. What else could I think that really shouts out to me? Everyone in the live stream, if there was a video that I have missed from the Bond community you think I should give a bit of a shout out to, please let me know. Just give a few moments to see if anything comes up. I'll tell you, I'll leave talks about that in a bit, otherwise we won't be here for a while, but definitely go check all that out. There's really great comment coming out here. Sorry, and nice interesting question by Daffy, which I'll get to in a minute. But you know, that was just really about stuff that's happened in the Bond community this month. Really, really great stuff, and I can't wait to look forward to what is happening next and what's cooking next, very much so. But I wanted to basically bring up something quite big here, and I wanted to make this one of the big comments of and things of today, and that is that James Bond Radio, I think, one of the definitive podcasts in our Bond community. Obviously, Tom and Chris have decided that it's time to sort of wind it down for their own personal reasons, and James Bond Radio does not exist anymore. And you know what? That to me is actually really quite upsetting. I get why they've done it, and it's completely understandable. But you know what? Something that really has, it's interesting. You don't realize how much something means to you until it's taken away. Because listening to James Bond radio is something so special to me. You know, it's something I like to listen to repeats of. These two, you know, Tom and Chris are just pinnacles of awesomeness within the Bond community. There's no lying about that. And I remember when they, they released the podcast saying that their intention, it really did feel like sort of a real cornerstone of sadness in the Bond community. I put a tweet out saying this is a true end of an era, and we cannot thank you enough as a fan of all the great, amazing quality that you gave us, and proof that being a James Bond fan is absolutely amazing. And I stand by that. I stand by it so much. But I wanted to give just a little shout out to James Bond Radio here. Now, none of them have ever heard of me before in my life, and they'll probably never even hear of me, but they do mean a lot to me. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for just, the amazing James Bond Radio podcast. It really does mean a lot to me. It means a lot to so many people out there. And it was just fantastic. And, there are other great, YouTubers and podcasters out there, but it's really, really means a lot. Really does mean a lot. Okay. That is just my little thing on there. Obviously, I could just go on about James Bond Radio so much, but I don't want, just to turn this into a 2-hour diatribe. But the next big topic we're here to discuss is, as we've already been discussing, it's coming, GoldenEye being released on Xbox and N64. Just wow. Sorry, hold on, just thingy that. Sorry, apologies for that, for those little mention, but GoldenEye and the N64 finally being released on Nintendo Switch and Xbox. I've already mentioned previous, I can't play it because I haven't got a Nintendo Switch and I haven't got an Xbox, so I'm a PlayStation man and proud. But isn't it fantastic? Isn't it, honestly, I'm still at a sort of stage of shock that I can't actually believe we are talking about this. I really can't. It's really, that to me is just really, really exciting. Just the fact that we're talking about it right now, that it's a real thing. It's here. It's now. Just honestly, I want to jump up in my chair. Like, it is real. It's real. If I look out, I know anyone who's played it is basically saying it's absolutely terrific. Everyone's really loving it. I hope, as some of us have already been discussing here on the channel, I hope that this is not the one and only remaster of Bond games we ever get. I hope this does lead us looking into, Nightfire, Everything or Nothing from Russia with Love. Probably not GoldenEye Rogue Agent, but maybe GoldenEye Reloaded again. There is a market for these Bond remasters, and they are so important because I believe very strongly, as a kid of the 90s, one of the reasons Bond became so big for a younger generation was the fact that it was the movies and the video games at the same time. It really got us into loving the world of James Bond. I really do think that is so an important element we can't ever describe. But again, I've really been enjoying listening to people talking about GoldenEye N64, talking to me about how important it is, how amazing it is to play again. If you look at obviously Brosnan's face, the very long smile unintentionally, that was great. And I'm so excited when I hear people talk about how they're playing it. And this is just, without a shadow of doubt, I think I'll sum it up to this. You have to accept, no matter who you are, that for a James Bond fan, this is just a win. It's an absolute win. Let's hope this isn't the end of it. Absolutely. Well, that is just really my sort of thoughts and topics on, the things that have come out today. They're very quick ones. I didn't want to really just bore you to death with that. I really want to just basically get into your questions and hear your thoughts and everything. So let's carry on for the questions we have now. So we're going to Daffyd. Hey, Daffyd. Says, hope you are well, man. I just wish a physical version would be released. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I don't think a physical version will be released. I don't think it's anything bad. I don't think there's any malicious things happening, but I think they're just going to make it an online exclusive, and probably that is the way it's going to stay. Nothing bad about that. I don't think nothing bad about that at all. But obviously, like so many of us, I would want a physical collection on my shelf as well. Dan writes, if anything, I'd love a collector's edition with a booklet, t-shirt, keyring, and posters from the release for Xbox and Switch. Again, it would be great, and I think myself, if I could afford it, I would definitely get it. But obviously, I just don't know. Don't think they are actually, unfortunately, just going to do it. But hey, let's not grumble. Let's not be like, yes, you released it, but I wanted it like this. Let's just be celebratory and just over the moon that it did get released. And Derek Kinder's right, just like the TMT Shredder's Revenge collection, any edition, to be honest. Well, clearly you collect collector's edition stuff like that, David, so I clearly understand that. Jack also writes, I'm okay with Aaron Taylor Johnson as James Bond. He could do a good job. I agree with you, Jack. I think he could do a really great James Bond. My biggest concern, I've been thinking about this a bit since I did that video, would he be, though, a great James Bond? Because, like it or not, Sean Connery was a great James Bond. Roger Moore was a great James Bond. Dalton, Brosnan, Craig, they've all been great James Bonds. They've been, like, brilliant of their own thing. Lazenby, let's just cancel that out because he only did really one. I don't think it's fair to cancel, but that's the thing. Aaron Taylor Johnson would do a good job, but would he be great? Again, we don't know until if he ever gets cast, we see him. Mark Coggins writes, Pierce is and always will be my Bond. Same with me, brother. Binns is a Bond fan back in 1999 when I was 12 years old. Dino Day gets a lot more hate from fans. I just don't understand why. Well, first off, Mark, I'm a Brosnan boy. I was born in 1982. I grew up with Brosnan. Brosnan is definitely my James Bond, and he always will be, in my opinion, the best. When it comes to Die Another Day, I get the hate. Let's face it. Die Another Day is sort of like the Flash Gordon of the James Bond movies. It's so overly stupid, but for me, it's so stupid, it's brilliant. Invisible cars and kite surfing a tsunami, please. With terrible CGI. But the thing is, hands up, I love Gustav Graves, I love Miranda Frost, I love the characters, I love the locations, the action sequences are great, the story, bit hit and miss. But, for me, Die Another Day is the Flash Gordon of the series and a bit of a guilty pleasure. David writes, I think a James Bond VR game should be released in order to be in the real experience of Bond. I think that would be great. And actually, if you think about it, VR would work, actually, I think, very well with James Bond, actually. I think it could work really, really nicely. I can just imagine us all, like, with a VR set walking sideways to do a shoot down a, something, and then it presents us with a gun barrel or something like that, or, being able to do stuff like that. I think a James Bond VR game James Bond would very much lend itself very heavily to VR, without a shadow of a doubt. Jack then writes, the 7 Things I Love of the Brosnan Era is my favorite video from your channel. Oh, Jack, thank you very much. Thank you so much. That does mean a lot. I really do love that video. It's something I care about a lot. And for me, yes, the Brosnan era is my favorite era of James Bond. It always will be. And there will be other 007 things I love. Like, I was thinking last night, like, if I was going to second one, maybe I do my 007 things I love about Roger Moore, or 7 things I love about Ken Adams sets, or something like that. Just something a bit different. But there's going to be a lot more Pierce Brosnan related stuff on my channel soon. February, not so much, because I want to do these other things, but certainly back in March, we've got a couple of Brosnan stuff coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. David writes, you need to do a countdown of all your favorite Bonds. David, this is the video, by the way, I mentioned a bit earlier. If you have been watching all the way through, I said I'd get back to. I have said to myself, David, and I stick by this, when I get 1,000 subscribers and I've got the watch time and I can monetize the channel, because this is the first year sincerely, because we're about 916 subscribers, about 3,800 watch hours. So this is the first year I've actually thought to myself, might I consider monetizing this channel? I'm really not sure. But if I do get to that point, that is when, to celebrate that, I will do a massive countdown of my favorite James Bond films. I've got this all lined up. I know exactly what I want to say, how I want to do it, but I need to get to that 1,000 subscriber thing. And Dutch Bond fan here writes, thank you for mentioning my video, dude. I'll mention it. Of course. Why wouldn't I mention your video? Why wouldn't I? It's brilliant. For those of you, I'm sure everyone in the comment section feels the same way, bud. I mean, to us, what I'm really looking forward to next is your next watch along, your next book review. I put Dutch Bond fan put out a poll about do we want to do more revisiting, redos of reviews, and I said yes, absolutely. So yeah, thanks for watching, bud. Really appreciate it. Chat to you soon. Mars, would you like to see you? We would like to see you play a Bond game on Steam. Are there actually any Bond games on Steam? Because just FYI, I do not have a gaming computer. What you're seeing here, what I'm doing this on, is an iMac from 2012. I'm really out of touch with technology. I really wish I could update. But last time I checked, there are no Bond games on Steam, as far as I'm aware. When it comes to actually doing watch-alongs of me playing video games, I need obviously a capture card. It's on my list of things maybe one day to get, hopefully. But we'll see what happens with that. David writes, Mark O'Connell recently said you can have your favorite and you have a best Bond movie. Your thoughts? Yeah, it was Mark. That was who wrote it. I agree with that. 100%. You can have your favorite and you can have a best Bond movie. Very much so, because I think my favorite is GoldenEye, but what is the best Bond movie? For me, even though it is still GoldenEye, I know plenty of people would say it's probably something else. So I definitely agree with that statement. It's basically saying the difference, I think, between this is your favorite and it might be the best one, but say you can have what you think is the best Bond movie objectively. But I've never understood the phrase objectively saying when it's a piece of art. Dev writes, what Bond movie is higher or lower on your list from your favorite? Favorite is currently more nostalgic. I'm not going to give anything away about my top 25 list. Not going to give anything away about it. Sorry, bud. We'll have to get to 1,000 subscribers. No. Oh no! I never knew that James Bond Radio is done. Oh, just like James Bond Archive. Thanks for sharing that, man. Yes, rest in peace to that channel. Yeah. Again, if they ever saw this or they even heard of me, just please pass on. Thank you so much for being pinnacles and greatness in the James Bond community. It really does mean a lot to me. Your show. And, I'm the sort of person who's going to be downloading episodes to re-listen to in my car journeys to and from work or on my lunch break. Still will. Do you know, I actually listen to a lot of Bond podcasts as well. I should do a thing about that. 11 today, From Russia Love on the PS2 was my personal favorite. Yay. Great choice, bud. Great choice. On that note, everyone, and I said I'd do this again, and he doesn't, Paul doesn't believe me, but I am going to do it. Obviously, I did recently a collaboration with 11 Today with Paul. We actually looked at the Clerks trilogy, which was really, really great fun because I love the Clerks movies. Go definitely check that out. And I just finished also watching their current live stream, which was a review of The Revenant. There's also some amazing videos, movie news updates, daily. Great stuff. Yes, I am plugging the show as much as possible I can because I love 11TN. I love the fact that I get to talk movies with some friends. It's fantastic. David Brooklies, even Zeltic offers his thoughts on James Bond. Respect that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, those guys did all the interviews, the actors, creators, what that we really wanted. Yeah, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely. Jack Hahn writes, 11th, I agree on From Russia with Love on the PS2. It's one of my personal favorites of the first games. Well, the fact of the matter is, I was very lucky. Because I grew up in the 90s and into the early noughties, I had the golden age of James Bond video games. You had the GoldenEye, you had Everything or Nothing, Nightfire, Age Under Fire, From Russia with Love, all these great games. I can't believe I'm saying it from mostly EA games, which is quite a thing to say nowadays. 11th writes, Jack, I was playing it the other day on my new Steam Deck. If From Russia with Love is on the Steam, I'm going to have to look into this. I'm definitely going to have to look into this. Dev writes, it is nice and interesting that people who were kids back when Die Another Day was released love it. The same way with episode 1. People have great memories of that movie. Yeah, I think it is just a generation thing. I mean, talking about Star Wars quite briefly, episode 1 was the first Star Wars film I saw in the cinema. The prequel trilogy is the trilogy I grew up with. Now, please don't get me wrong. I grew up first on the original trilogy on VHS releases. But I could be live and say episode 1 is probably my personal favorite Star Wars film because I have truly rose-tinted glasses over it. Even with Jar Jar. Misa Big Mac and Neeks! Mark Coggins writes, Die Another Day is one of my favorite Bond films, also in my top 10 list. Bravo to you, bud. I really can't wait for Project 007 to be released on the PS5, Xbox, and Switch. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me absolutely as well. I mean, I got a PS5 last year, and one of the games I'm really looking forward to most, I really can't say enough, is the Project 007 game. I don't know when it's going to get released, but believe me, I'm going to be ready for it. Daphne again writes, if we were teens when Moonraker was released, I wonder if we would love it or hate it. Space is the only thing, but goody jaws and lasers is something else. Look, Moonraker is Moonraker, and what I applaud that film for, and I said this once in a video with Calvin, was the fact that one of the things I hated about Spectre was they had some ideas and concepts, but they didn't really go with them. They tiptoed, little toes in the water. They didn't really explore them or commit to them. What I love about things like Moonraker and No Time to Die is the fact that they committed to it. They said, you know what, we're going to go Bond and space, laser fights. We're just going to do all of that. And they did it. And the film, I think, lasts longer and has a more happier place in people's memories because at least they say it was stupid and maybe over the top or, Bond's lost all sense of reality. But at least they went for it and went full gusto with their idea. Jack writes, I'd love to see some footage of the new 007 games, and I'd love to see skins from all the other actors for more replay value. Yeah, you know what, Jack? I said this to a friend at work. He's a bit of a gamer, and I said the ideal James Bond game for me would be the Lego games, but with James Bond to a degree. The ability to go play through the movies, and you can choose which actor you want throughout the whole thing. That would be like the dream thing to me. Oh, sorry, man. Here's to getting 1,000 subs, man. Yeah, you know what? I have never created content with the intention of this is going to be clickbait. I've always just basically made stuff with the intention of I'm making it for myself, what I want to see. Because, I watch my own stuff quite a bit, actually. I find it very difficult to watch myself, but I do watch myself a lot. So, I'm making stuff that I find personally interesting. If other people do, other people do. I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing my channel or talking about it with people, but it's really quite interesting. I have to say, it's interesting. Dav writes, okay, man, I need to go to bed, but can you tell me what's your most prized Bond possession is? I want to get GoldenEye Cinema Standee on eBay. I'll tell you what it is. It's over here. Hold on. Yes, I am in my pajamas, if you can see. This is a toy back from my childhood. It is the Wolf of P99 toy. And I remember my childhood just playing with this toy gun. It is definitely one of my things I love. Live stream I was meaning. Oh, hold on. What was your last thing, Mark? Let's just go up. Die Another Day, Bruce on PS5. So I don't know what you mean by that, but hey, that's what it is. Just check Steam. No Bond games on there. See, that's what I thought. So that's the thing. So Def writes, and all the posters in the Goldeneye magazines. Yeah, a lot of people like to collect Goldeneye stuff, I have to say. And have a great one, man. Yep, have a great one to you too, bud. Mark Coggins again writes, I'm playing Goldeneye while watching the Steam. I'm on Mission 5, 7i Part 2, and I got to protect the most annoying... Oh, God. If you all know what I mean about protecting Natalia, you know that no matter what, that is the thing that will make you rip your hair out, convert you to alcoholism. Just protecting Natalia just makes you just want to know. Levitating sends some support. Thank you very much, bud. And he again writes, let's speak off Steam. I can reveal all about the wonders of the Steam bag. Yeah, I'll chat to you soon, bud. Probably not tonight, but I'll certainly send you a message tomorrow and let's have a good catch up again. Jack writes, I enjoy 11T8 and I've enjoyed your content and love helping on Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Die Hard 2, and LA Confidential. Yeah, it's great just to have these live streams on 11T8. Really is fantastic. And then he writes, hey, Jack, thanks, bro. Appreciate your contributions to the streams. And Derek was, Lego Bond should happen. Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah, basically, yes, it's not obviously do a Lego game, but that concept of just all the characters playing through multiple different missions. Basically, I want a reboot of 007 Legends, except more in depth with different actors, different things. That's what I really want. I wish the one thing that GoldenEye N64 should have is getting the other 5 Bond actors' faces as well. Didn't they have that in the multiplayer? I swear they had that in the multiplayer. David, I want that P99 cap gun. They're deadly expensive, so jealous. Yeah, I got it for a great Christmas present. Obviously I keep it in the wrap, keep it far away. It's just a little memento. Really great. Okay, thanks, man. You're welcome, bud. Jack writes, I hope we get some Lego sets on James Bond as being based on the villain's bases and MI6 office. I have got a Lego Aston Martin DB5 I do need to build. Don't know when I'm going to do it, but I have to do it. Jack writes, hey, I take it you've seen the live action version of Protecting Natalia on YouTube. Yep. Yes, I have seen that one, definitely. And Mark again writes here, 007 Legends is my least favorite Bond game. I can't deny when it comes to ranking Bond games low, that yes. But for me, I think the worst James Bond game actually for me is 007 Racing. I just remember very horrible nightmares about that game. I hated that game so much. And just, still to this day, I think the only reason I'd ever played 007 Racing again is if the world needed saving by the fact that I alone could save the world by playing 007 Racing. That's the only reason I'd ever play that game again. And Daffyd writes, no, they didn't, because there's a legal issue with Connery and the other actors, sadly. Well, fair enough. If that's the reason, that's the reason. You can't get around that. But Evan, that's really all the questions we've got today. We've been going for only 36 minutes today, but there's no harm in that. It's a bit of maybe a quick one, Look, I think I'll just end on saying this. We're still going to do the live streams throughout the year. Hopefully I'll get a better camera. We can do things a bit better. Maybe this is the year that I consider going into getting paid for my channel. I don't know. It's not on my biggest priority, but let's just see what happens with it. We got another question quickly from Jack. I want to see 007 Legends with 25 films and the main gun being the PPK until the world's not enough to Casino Royale, and have each gun barrel for each mission. Yeah, basically, Jack, that is exactly what I want. So you summed it up perfectly there. But everyone, that is the end of today's live stream, really. As I say, not a long one, but it's nice just to get back in. Wish everyone a happy new year. Stay tuned on the channel again, because we've got some great content coming up. I'll give you a few ideas. We've got a video about why I think Tom Hardy should be James Bond. We've got a great one about when are they going to announce the next Bond actor. And I don't think I'll share the other one because it's quite a little interesting one, but it's really, really cool. And I hope you enjoy it. And look, everyone, just thank you very much. And look, take care. See you next month as well. Let's keep the Bond Flav live and see you all later. Bye.